Is Thankful Thursday, and I'm here. I was supposed to be here this morning, but unfortunately, time didn't permit. I couldn't do it, but I'm here now. I'm here with you all. Glad to be here, and I'm glad to see you all. Thank you. And so, in this video, I'm going to be talking about trusting God's perfect timing. You think you're waiting on Him, but in reality, He's waiting on you. And this is something I struggle with myself, trying to just trust God's timing and not think too much into when things don't go my way and how upsetting that can be, especially when you've had your heart set on something. To trust the unknown, to trust that, God knows better. And that's why I titled this, you think you're waiting on God. Maybe are you tired of waiting on God? Maybe He's tired of waiting on you. And when we shift that focus from waiting on God to what is God waiting on me to do? What does God need me to do to get in alignment with His will? Because we like to make everything about us. It's our world, everything is centered around us, but really, it's God's world. It's His timing, it's what He says, it's in His alignment, it's in His will. We are a party, a player in His story. All of us are. And hey, everybody. And so when you think about shifting that focus from self and putting it on the bigger picture, which is God, what is God waiting on you to do? And during these moments where we're waiting on God, we're trusting Him, we're trying to lean on not our own understanding, but focus on what His understanding is because He knows everything. Start to question yourself. What areas can I improve? And a lot of times, me personally, those times that I'm trusting God and I am looking to be in His perfect timing and I'm just having that faith, it's usually a time for me to strengthen my faith because that doubt comes in and we think that, well, maybe God didn't hear my prayer. Maybe God's answer to my prayer is no. Maybe God is saying, He doesn't want me to have this. What is it that God wants me to take from this situation? And a lot of times it's just trusting Him, increasing my patience, having faith, making my faith stronger, understanding that He knows better than me, and understanding, a lot of times it'll be something I thought I wanted, and then come to find out it's not even once I got through that whole situation. It's like, you know what? God did know better. Here I am thinking I wanted this. God has something totally way better than what I would have even imagined for myself. And so every single time that I'm in that feeling where it's uncomfortable, it just doesn't feel good, and it's like I'm trusting, I'm trying to be patient, I'm trying not to, put this doubt into God. And the thing about it is also too, when we start to question Him, it's like, who are we to question God? If anything, He should be questioning us. Why are you still not trusting me? Why are you still, after all this time, after everything I've shown you, why do you still not have that faith in me? Why? Because that's what it boils down to, the strength of our faith. When you have that strong faith, it's not going to be moved by everything that doesn't go your way. It's not going to be just shaken at the drop of a dime. It's going to be tested. You will have some doubt, but it doesn't get to the point where you start to question God. Now that's when you really need to question yourself. Why am I questioning God after how good He's been to me, after everything He's shown me, after just every situation He's brought me to, and I still have the audacity, the gall to trust God. Not trust God, but to not have faith in God, to question Him. And when I start to have that, I have to, reassess myself. And it's like, I take a good, long, hard look in the mirror and I say to myself, what is it you're really feeling? And majority of the time, it's fear. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of being in a situation that I've never been in before. It's fear of not knowing how to navigate these unfamiliar territories. It's fear of just not understanding what's going to happen on the other side of this. It's fear of trying to navigate through this new problem, this new situation. It's the fear of maybe I'll lose something. But instead of having that fear, have hope. Start to think, what can I gain? What is the greatness that God has for me on the other side of this? What is it that God has for me that's more than what I think I or thought I wanted? If he took this away, what is he replacing it with? I mean, and I start to get excited because then it's like, well, maybe he has this or maybe it's that. And it's like my mind can go and my imagination will run wild. And I'm like, you know what? I thought I wanted this car, but maybe God has a private jet for me. I'm going to be flying around on, because God can do it. He is that amazing, that great to anything that we think we want for ourselves pales in comparison to the goodness of his glory and how he wants to bless us with. But we have to start believing that it's possible, that he will do it. And when you don't get what you want and you question his timing, you're not giving him that faith he deserves. You're not putting that faith forward to open your mind, your heart, to receive a blessing greater than anything you thought that you would have. And so don't question God. Question yourself. Question why you even think to question God. Question why it's even a thought that you can't trust him this time the same way you've trusted him before. Start asking yourself those questions. Ask yourself, that could be another thing. Maybe God wants you to learn how to self-reflect and figure out what is it that you're missing. Because if we're repeating these patterns and you find yourself going through the same thing over and over and over, God is trying to teach you a lesson. There's something you are not picking up. There's something you are not grasping. It's something you're not learning because you keep going down the same path, making the same mistake, making that same choice that leads you to this same situation that you are in. So what is it that you need to think about in your choices, in your decisions, in your mistakes, and try to figure out, how do I do something differently? How do I get to a different point in my life instead of me coming back to this exact same space, this exact same problem? And many times it'll be with the exact same people that we are holding on to and wishing they would change, when maybe God is trying to change you. Maybe you are the catalyst to the change you want. Maybe he's telling you to look in yourself and figure out, why do you keep coming back to this when you know it's not good for you? You know it doesn't serve a purpose for you. You know there's been no change. Because the one thing that I know and I've learned and I've read about, we cannot change anyone but ourselves. And when you really start to implement the change you want out of others and start to focus on how you can change, a lot of times it's kind of like a chain reaction. And it's not that they will change, but your outlook on them will change. Your expectations of them change. So you're expecting them to do this, but now you've gotten to the place, well, I know I can't expect this anymore. So now I have to be realistic about what this person can do for me, how they can show up for me. Now, when I start to be honest with myself and start to say, you know what, this is what I would like from them, but this is what they are actually giving me, and it doesn't align. So now that I know my expectations aren't being met and I understand that I'm not getting what I need from them, why do I keep expecting it? Why do I keep putting myself in a situation where I'm going to get let down? Now, we can pray for them, but what is that saying? Faith without works is dead. So while you're praying for this person to change, you need to put the work into yourself for you to make your own personal changes. And there's nothing wrong with loving them from a distance. That is something that a lot of us don't even realize. When we start to embody and take on the responsibility of trying to change someone, we're actually enabling them. You are a crutch for them. You're not giving them the space to grow because they don't have to grow, because you're accepting what they provide to you, what little they give to you, what they don't bring nothing to you, but you accept it. And so when we start to think about God's perfect timing, that's a moment for us to just reflect on ourselves, ways that we can grow, ways that we can start to increase our faith, ways that we can start to trust God more, even when we don't understand it. And I know for me personally, not understanding and having that trust, it really is, it stems from being in control. Because if it's outside of my control, then I have no say on what is going on. And that is definitely something that is so very scary to me. Not understanding the how, the when, the why, the where, the what, and not being able to influence it in any type of way, is like I really have to just surrender to God's will. And it's so very scary. When you're used to being in control, you're used to doing things in your own manner and depending on yourself. When you are so used to being the person that gets things done, and now you're in this predicament where it's out of your control. You feel helpless. You feel as though, like, there's nothing you can do. And that's when you lean into that trust and that faith you have in God. And that's when God shows you that He is all you will ever need, no matter what's going on. You may think you need this person, that thing over there, this situation, but when it's all said and done, when you don't have access to any of that, when all you have is your hope, your faith, your trust, your belief in God, that's when He shows up and He makes even bigger believer out of you. And it lets you know, and it helps you to understand that putting your trust in Him, putting your faith in Him, full fledged, you will never be forsaken. And many of us, the thing that is hard is not only, being out of control, but it's uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. We can be in a situation and we're comfortable, but then a little thing will shift that takes us outside of our comfort zone. And a lot of the thing that ignites growth is being uncomfortable. And I know for me personally, when I'm uncomfortable, I'm going to try to do anything I can to get back comfortable. I don't like feeling stressed out. I don't like not being in control. I don't like, just feeling helpless. But then I also know, because I don't like it, then it's like, okay, what do I need to change? What areas do I need to grow? What do I need to learn? How can I do something differently? And because I love to learn, once I figure out, okay, this is how I can navigate this situation, I just need to learn this. I need to read this. I'm fine. But there are some instances where that's not enough. It really takes me doing something that I don't like. One of the things that I really I struggle with is waking up early. For whatever reason, I'm up late at night. But I know that on the other side of, me being disciplined and me being consistent is what I really want out of life. And the only way I'm going to get to that is to put God first and then become disciplined and consistent. And I can do it, but then it's like I'm falling off, but then I'll get back on and I'll fall off. And so I can do the discipline part, but then I need the other part, which is the consistency. And waking up early, it gets me out of my comfort zone, because I love my bed. I love a good night's sleep. It just feels good. But because I want something more important than that temporary feeling of, how my bed feels so good in the morning, because I can always come back to it. It's not going to be there. But for me to seize the day and to get what it really is I want and desire to take me out of this feeling of being uncomfortable, I know I have to implement this change. I know I need to wake up early. I know I need to do this continuously until it becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, then it becomes a lifestyle. But I have to do it, I have to get started for any of that to happen. And so it's uncomfortable. Even when I've been trying this is like the third video I've done where I said I'm supposed to be here at 9 a.m. What time is it? Is it 5 o'clock? Oh my God. I thought it was like 1 or 2. See? I'm supposed to be here at 9 a.m. every Thursday doing Thankful Thursdays because I figured more people are up, at least in my age group. And that's another, it's my age group, but I'm not waking up with the rest of the age group. Nonetheless, I'm supposed to be here at 9 a.m. every Thursday. I have yet to do it. So I'm going to try again next Thursday to come on here at 9 a.m. and honor my commitment to you all and to myself. I'm asking God to help me increase this channel and help it to grow and to give me these subscribers. But like I said earlier, faith without works is dead. He can't do anything for me if I don't do my part. And so that goes back to God's perfect timing. Is he waiting on me? I'm not waiting on him. He's waiting on me because I'm the one that's not getting up. I'm not the one that's doing my part. I'm not the one being consistent. And so all of it ties together. So I'm going to try again next Thursday to get on here at 9 a.m. And then I just figured out too, this goes back to the learning piece. I didn't know that I can actually schedule these lives, because the thing that really prolongs when I do get on here, because I started to get on here earlier, and what happened was I started to do the video, but I didn't do my the thumbnail, the cover photo. And so then I realized I can do these in advance. I can set up my cover photo and start to decide what I'm going to talk about. And all I got to do is get on here and push go live, and everything is done. I can set up the description, the title, instead of jumping on here at the last minute, doing all this stuff. And it took me like about 2 hours to get it done. But I'm here. So that's all I can do, is continue to grow, evolve, challenge myself, push myself, and just to be here. So now that I know this, I am truly, truly, truly hoping that next week I can get here at 9 a.m., be better prepared, and see what happens. Yeah. And that's another thing. People will think that, God, they're waiting on God, when, like I said, God is waiting on you. You can prepare yourself in that time. Do what you need to do the way you're supposed to do it. And I've spent all this time saying I want to do this, but not once have I shown up on time. I've been coming on here for the last 3 weeks. And so I haven't gotten the results I wanted, but I haven't done it the way that I wanted to do it or said I was going to do it. So now I'm thinking to myself, what will really happen if I do my part? What are the results I'll get if I actually show up here well prepared every Thursday at 9 a.m. on the dot? What can happen? Because I'm seeing what's happening with me coming on a Thursday but not at the specified time. I'm getting results, but not, the results that I think I could get if I actually did it the correct way. And some of us will try something and quit doing it because we don't get what we want, but we didn't put forth the effort that's required for the results that we want. And so, once again, question yourself. What is it that you need to improve? What is God waiting on you to do? What is God waiting for you to do on your behalf? How is God seeking that change from you? Don't put it on God, because God is good. God is great. God don't need to change anything. What do you want to do? Take accountability and ask yourself, what is God waiting on me to do? And when you pose that question to yourself, be honest with yourself and actually, take accountability for yourself and say, you know what? I haven't been showing up the way I need to. I haven't given God anything to work with. I'm asking all of this from God, and the little things He asked for me to have faith, to trust Him, to believe, and have hope, I falter. Any little thing that just comes out of nowhere, it leaves me shaky. But how can I strengthen that? How can I grow stronger in my faith? How can I show up consistently? How can I be more disciplined in my faith? And watch how God shows up for you. Watch what He does. Watch how He takes your action plus your faith and what comes from that. And you will be pleasantly surprised. And you will also know that God is always there on time and His timing is perfect. So, thank you all for watching. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so, and hit that notification bell so you are notified every single time I jump on here and go live, or anytime I have a video uploaded. And my goal is to try to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. And be sure to follow me on all social media platforms at iamjamilanaila. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you soon. Bye.